happy weekend, happy Saturday. We made it. Hope we're all doing good. Why does my shirt look really sideways? Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Okay, we gotta read this first. From this username does not exist. Her Majestic Grace, Kate, the culinary artisan, sovereign of delectable dishes, grand creator of flavorful feasts, whose scrumptious creations delight the palate and warm the heart. I love it. It's actually so cute. I would say that's a good description of what we do here. I've also went more towards being like the token recipe tester on Twitch of the internet. I don't really know if anyone does what we do for these last bunch of years. And we feed the soul. Yeah, warm the heart and feed the soul to end it. Titan says, I'm late. Well, good thing no one's clocking in or out today. Hi, Malene. Welcome back. Good to see you. Okay, I'm going to scroll up. Welcome everyone else in. Samo was first this morning. He's ready to go. Titan, it's so good to see you. You got a deer this morning too. 'Tis the season, guys. It's hunting season. Hope you can all appreciate that. I wish I could come over. That was like one of our favorite things to do for our friends, family Zach, the Homers, where we used to get all the fish and venison and all the yummy things from. We used to process their deer for them. And then they told their friends, and then we had to process their friends' deer for them. So that was always a fun adventure. I definitely miss it. Suzanne, good to see you. Bonk, I hope you're having a good weekend. Maybe had a nice little sleep in too. I'm excited about these banana chocolate chip. There's peanut butter in there too. Cookie bars. Kind of supposed to be healthy, so we'll see. I thought we would balance out our desserts today. Bonk, don't be scared of the brittle. It's okay. We made caramel the other weekend, so I thought that we could maybe take it one step further for cooking the caramel, let's say, get it more toward the candy stage and show you guys how to make brittle. Because to me, that is like one of the best holiday treats. It's so easy to like pack to go. Yeah, and just using all the different nuts. I've never made this one before. It is macadamia, pecan, and coconut inside of the brittle instead of just like peanuts. Because not everyone can eat peanuts either, right? So maybe you do want to make a couple different ones. I mean, the base recipe for the candy part should stay the same, and then you just switch out whatever nuts you want. Sounds fun. We're going to try it out today. Hi, Mary. Hope you're doing good. Yet it is. Happy Saturday. We have a friendly community. We do. We try to, at least. No nice sleeping today. Dang, that was like me too. The upstairs neighbors, I don't know if they sleep on the floor or something, or their phone was on the floor, but I got their buzzing of their alarm going off for like 10 minutes at 5:30 this morning. So I was like, yeah, I'm up early and I got nothing to do. The gym's not even open, so it's not like you can even leave. But that's okay. After they turned it off, I was able to fall back asleep. You slept until 5. Is that where when you went out hunting, or is that when you like came back from it? Ban the neighbors, right? I wish we could. Mary, could you use sunflower seeds like in the brittle? I have seen brittle made with pumpkin seeds. I've never seen it made with sunflower seeds, but I guess you don't know until you try it. Maybe if you do want to try it, just make a really small batch of it just in case it's not yummy. But yeah, pumpkin is the only kind of seed that I've seen made with brittle. But you never know. You can Google it up and I'm sure you could find a recipe. You got ready to go hunting at 5 a.m. I could have went with you, see? I was ready to go. It's like I knew. Good 9 hours. I love that. And yeah, we went this morning, guys, to our local butcher shop, as well as our, I mean, they call themselves Latin, but I would say it's like a Mexican market. So we got a couple yummy sausages from there for tomorrow's stream. Sam was gonna be doing a paired boxed mac and cheese tasting trio with sausages and smokies. And then I got from the Latin market for our pozole, I couldn't find ripe avocados, so I luckily found that. And I got a bunch of nice tomatillos. The only one we got skunked on for the pozole, as far as peppers go, is poblanos. And so then I talked to the guy at the market, because it's like family run. And he tells me, well, poblanos are no longer in season, so it's going to be hard to find them. Makes sense, right? That is our own fault for choosing a recipe that has peppers that aren't in season. So, like, you can't even be mad at that, right? I totally respect that. But I think I bought enough jalapenos. We'll be a-okay on that front. Hi, Blondie. How's it going? Nice. Yeah, you had to go home early and quick. Get that baby butchered up before it's spoiled. Yeah, I've never done that part of it, but that would be fun. Okay, and then while I was at the butcher shop, I did drop off my resume there. They said they possibly weren't looking for more people, but then one of the managers was like, yeah, we'll keep her resume. So we'll see what happens on that front, because I think that would be really fun to work at. And then we also discovered this thing. So at the butcher shop, they have a hot case of items. I have to pause. Okay. I gotta take a photo of Sam for his job. Is this for your ID?
Yeah.
Do we literally have to do this now?
Yeah, I have to get the paperwork done.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. His Amazon ID. But okay. They have a hot case there that they rotate. Probably like 8, 9 different meats that they've prepared in their like smokers and stuff like that. We got one of their smokies today, and oh my gosh, it was like the most perfect smoky ever. Like the snap from the casing, and it was so juicy inside, but that's been eaten. But then one crazy thing that they said they only do on Saturdays, I can't recall the last time we went on a Saturday. If you guys have ever seen this, let me know. But boiled bacon. And my gosh, it looked good. My God, it looked good. Hello, Blitz. Coming in with the blobby. Right? We were like, boiled bacon. So the girl said it's cured. And it's smoked like bacon. And then they boil it in like the whole form. And it has the ribs attached. So it's like pork ribs with the belly attached, turned into bacon. I'll show you guys if I can pick it up. It was like so gelatinous when she picked it up to slice it. We asked for 3 bones. It was like falling apart. So we've let it rest a bit. Oh, it looks so good. That's what it is. We're like, can we have 3 bones to try?
And they were like, no, sorry, we don't slice it. And then she's like, no, we slice the bones.
Yeah, right. And then so it has the skin on too. Right? So interesting. So we thought, I'm going to save that for tomorrow. Sam said maybe we'll like fry it up to have with eggs for breakfast. Doesn't that look insane though? That's what I'm thinking, Greek. And hi, welcome. Like broil up the skin. Just leave that open in the fridge. Ah, my soap sealed itself. Let me in. Did they boil all the flavor out, or was it boiled in broth? That, we didn't get too far, but just judging by the smell bonk, yeah, I don't think they boiled the flavor out. Because you gotta think, like, when you cure something and then smoke it, the amount of flavor that's already in there. And so even if they just boiled it in water, right, it's gonna absorb all of that. But yeah, I've never seen that. Neither has Sam. Should be some magic. We'll let you know how it goes. I'm gonna just pack it up back into the fridge. And so this chunk, do you remember how much it costs? Did you get a receipt? There was like no price on it and we didn't get a receipt. So I don't know, but like we got 3 packs of sausages, a pack of pepperoni, the like massive smoky that we both shared, and this was only $55. That's not bad. Because it would take me so much time to prepare that stuff, right? It might not take me or cost that much, but it's the time that it takes to prepare all those different things. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys that. Maybe you'll see that in your life, or you can put that onto your butcher if you're close with them and have a good relationship. Be like, can you try this? Right? It's not about the cost of food. It's more about the time, the labor cost of it. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated about the job scene there. Seems like such a nice crew, so hopefully I hear something back. Okay, back to cooking today. So we got some yummy soup on the go for Samo. Since he cooked me food last weekend on stream, I thought I would just cross off his Pozole menu redemption, and plus I had most of the things already for it, so I thought that would be smart. If you guys have never had chicken Pozole soup before, and we're making the Verde version, which means green, it is like pulled chicken. The like bulk of the soup is hominy corn, if you guys have ever had that. So kind of same corn that they use to make tortillas, but it's not ground fine yet. To me, like the broth, once you have the corn in there, it kind of tastes like tortillas. It kind of tastes like taco soup. Like to me, this is the most authentic version of like a taco soup.
And we have tortillas to crush into it.
Oh yeah, nice. We do have a bag of tortillas if we want to crush on top. That's more of like a tortilla soup garnish, but you're always welcome to do that. So yeah, the base of it is like onion, garlic, green peppers that are usually spicy, and then cilantro and lime. So all green things, right? Like 5 green pieces. And then usually you blend it all up so the broth is nice and thin, and then you have your chicken and your corn, and then you garnish it with a lot of fresh things. So you get the contrast of like warming, nutritious soup, and then like the fresh, crunchy veggies and stuff on top. Oh, it's delicious. I usually make the green one like in the summertime, and then the red one is better for winter, but I think you can make them any time of year. Yeah, tomatillos exactly for the tart. I almost forgot about those. So we have like 6 green things going into this. Fun. We have to pressure cook the corn today, the hominy. I have it in like larger or coarse grit style. So it's not the whole corn kernel, but it's not like a fine grit either. So we'll pressure cook that, and then we're also gonna make our own broth for the soup while we work on our baking today. So I thought we would get the corn into the pressure cooker, get our chicken legs. We got 4 chicken legs to go into this. Thought we would sear them off in our soup pot or stock pot, and then top that up with water, and then just simmer it until they're cooked through. That way you get all of the flavor into the broth for the soup. You can pull your chicken off. You can put the bones back in if you're not ready to make the soup yet. And then I also dug out from the freezer, I had this bag of turkey bits and bones from a few weeks ago. I thought we would sneak that into the broth pot too. Okay, that's the soup, guys. I didn't even read through any of the recipes, but I've made it a couple times. I think every time I've made it was on stream. It's one of Sam's favorite soups. Is it your number 1? I just realized that the music was really high still. Okay, there we go. Okay. I'm just gonna read through the pozole, make sure I didn't miss anything. I also didn't know that they make a white version of Pozole Blanco. Blanco Verde and Rojo, which is the red one. Okay, so the Blanco one is just like a plain base, and then you add your own like hot sauces and stuff to the bowl. That sounds interesting. Okay, our Aloha Brittle, which Bonk said will be an adventure to make. Don't be scared, guys. I think we'll be just fine. So we need butter for this, shredded coconut, macadamia, and pecans. And then it's sugar as well as light corn syrup, which I would say don't skip the light corn syrup because that will keep everything stable since we're cooking this to the candy stage. And then a little bit of baking soda so that the brittle is not too hard. The baking soda will add a little bit of aeration in there. That will help it not be like too crunchy for your teeth. You hate breaking your teeth on brittle. That's when you know like it wasn't made properly. And then there's just a bit of water and vanilla. Mish! Hi, Mish. And hi, Devin. Welcome in. Mish says, last time you made pozole was on May 26th of this year. Nice.
Yeah, I asked for it when I came home from rotation one time.
So literally like 6 months later almost. That's funny. Devin Taco Eater says, what is your favorite food? Depends on like the time of day and how I'm feeling. But I can always go for a cheeseburger. You watched a YouTube the other day, Bonk, about making pecan brittle. Did it seem as crazy as this recipe? So this recipe had a lot of good reviews, which is why I chose it. And then how much does it make? A pound of brittle. AKA 16 servings, it says. Interesting. So you have to like toast the coconut in the oven, and then we'll cook the sugars together while that's toasting. And then you stir in the macadamia nuts and pecans with the butter, and then you cook that until it's 300 degrees Fahrenheit. That's called the hard crack stage for candy. So we will need a thermometer for that. So the same one that I use when we deep fry in oil is the same one that I'll use today. If you see the top there, it says candy, to monitor the temperature of our sugars. I mean, you'll also see it'll keep getting darker and darker in color, and you'll kind of smell when it starts to change from like smelling nice and like caramelly and sweet. If you take it too far, it'll start to smell like burnt and bitter, right? Hopefully you don't get to that stage, because then you'll have to start over, unfortunately. You're drooling. I like all of these 3 nuts, so I thought it would be delicious. And I've never seen this made before anywhere. You bet the Kerrygold butter would make it yum? I bet. Oh, nice, Bonk. The candy store videos. I get obsessed with those sometimes. One tip they had was to spread it as thin as possible. Yeah, that definitely helps, right? When you go to bite down on it, you don't want it super thick. Because, yeah, I've heard of people actually wrecking their teeth on candy if it's not made properly. Ouch. Ouch. That has got to be so painful. Okay, so that's that. And then lastly, the flourless peanut butter banana chocolate chip bars. Try saying that one 5 times fast. It's got a lot of good reviews. It says it makes 9 servings. I don't know if that's accurate. And seems to come together pretty quick. I liked this recipe because we don't need a mixer for it today. So I chose like kind of a more challenging, the brittle recipe. And then this is nice and easy. So we need to line a pan with parchment paper. I might do both of my smaller ones. for this because I don't have an 8x8 square pan. And then we just mash the bananas, add in the peanut butter, your almond, or I'm going to use coconut flour, maple syrup, egg, cinnamon, baking soda, salt, your chocolate chips. Pour it in the pan and bake it. So that's just like a one bowl, one pan wonder. Love those recipes. And yeah, it's flourless, so I know we do have a couple gluten-free people in chat. Thought that would be nice to share as well. So both of the recipes are gluten-free today. And I guess even the pozole, guys, there's no wheat in it because it's corn-based. You're welcome. This is an entirely Annie-friendly stream. FM Rock 2, thanks for the follow. Right, Suzanne? 9 servings if you're on a diet. 2 servings for normal situations. And yeah, Bob friendly. And also like my belly friendly too. I would still say that. But everything in moderation, we know. As I like have the biggest bag of flour behind me. If you guys were wondering what that was, that's the flour. We need to divide it into bins today. Because this costs, so 20 kilograms of local flour that is grown non-GMO. We did some research online for this company. It's called Ardent Mills. That bag was how much? $20. That was $20 for 20 kilos. And then the other flours that I've been getting, 5 kilos for $23. So we'll see if I find a difference between using them. But it really does pay. Like if you can buy flour in bulk, and if you think you'll use it up in time, check those places. Okay, so first things first, I'm thinking, what, maybe since we have to bake the first recipe for about 25 minutes, maybe we'll get our chocolate chip bars baking in the oven, and then while those are going, we can start working on the brittle together. And then we can toast the coconut in the oven while it's already on. I think that will be a good way to do it. So I'll write cookie bars on the list first. Aloha Brittle after that. If you guys are new here, I always make desserts first if I have them on the menu for stream. Even if I'm not on stream. Because that way, if anything goes wrong, because baking can sometimes be finicky, at least you have a little bit of time. If you need to remake something, then you can recover and have that happen. But yeah, if you leave your baking till last and then it doesn't turn out, well, you're going to be stressing a bit. Banana and chocolate and then add peanut butter into there. Heaven. It's true. Okay, and then after that, our pozole. Remember that we did say that before we start the baking, guys, we're going to do the hominy in the cooker, as well as getting the stock going. And that way those 2 stovetop things can carry on while we finish up the desserts. So I'll put those there. And then a couple of things to kind of remember for the pozole. Let me just read this over. Do we like roast the peppers and stuff? We don't. So yeah, the interesting thing about this soup recipe, you know, a lot of soup bases, you'll like cook all of the ingredients first and then like add your stock after. So all of our green stuff gets blended fresh together. And then you just pour that into your stock. So it's very, very fresh and flavorful tasting. And that way I think it also keeps the really nice green color. So that's honestly pretty simple. So you just need your cooked corn, your stock, blend all of your green stuff, and make sure your chicken is diced up. That's your soup base. And then I always write the garnishes down for this because there's quite a few. So our cabbage, radish, we got avocado, We'll chop up some more cilantro and then lime wedge. And then this is an optional one. If you don't like things that are too spicy, to cool down your palate, you could always add a little scoop of sour cream on top of this. I like doing that sometimes. It makes it a little bit creamy, but you can still like taste all of the flavors in the broth. Okay, that's it, guys. Let's get into it. Away we go. First things first, just gonna see the hominy corn. In the pressure cooker. How long? How to cook dried hominy in a pressure cooker. Dun, 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 dun. I will say I did soak the kernels for a few hours and then just drained the water out and put it in the fridge. It says 25 to 30 minutes, but that is for whole kernels. Let me rephrase my Googler. I did put hominy grits, but maybe I'll put hominy like cracked.
Last time they could have been cooked a little bit longer.
Sam says last time we could have went longer. You got it, Samo. How's Scooter doing today? How to cook cracked hominy. Okay. I think they just do it in like a pot. Slow cooker method. Okay, pressure cooker. So we soaked it. Add 2 cups of water per each cup of soaked hominy, which I did like 1 cup. And then after it's soaked, well, it's kind of like a cup and a half, almost 2 cups now. So that's already good to go. Cook it on high pressure. So they say 40 minutes. I thought the other time was long. Like, just for a comparison, guys, when you cook dried beans in the pressure cooker, it takes about 15-20 minutes. That's it. Scooch, you're doing some laundry today? Nice. We're doing okay. Feeling a bit cozy. Had a nice little, like, lay in bed this morning. We don't often do that. Right, Slam? Like, how advanced are the Central and South American native people with their corn and stuff, and how they figured out how to make it digestible and nutritious? How did they know that back then? Sometimes I feel like we went backwards in time and, like, civilization. Okay, the alert didn't go off on this scene, so I'll just switch it. Thanks, White Dove, for the 57 months in a row. Oh, you're getting close. Thanks for being part of the kitchen crew, friend. Hope you're having a good weekend. Okay, so I'm going to go with, let's do 25 minutes on this. We'll just go with that amount of time. Good to go. And then while we're waiting on that, we can get our stock going. Let me dig this out real quick first. Get the pressure cooker. Sambo. The GoPro is not ready, right? Okay, we're gonna try. We did something different today, guys, since it was ridiculous last stream, aka yesterday. We did not plug it in right away. Okay, I see what you did there for plugging it in. So now, do I need to plug in the base at all?
This is where I would do.
Okay. If the red light is on,
Do you want me to come over?
what does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
We don't close that much.
It's on, baby. That's a successful noise right there. You're gonna take over the kitchen when you come over? What are you gonna make? Mac and cheese with a glass of chalky milk? I mean, that doesn't sound bad. I would accept that. You gotta start somewhere. Okay. We're one step closer here, people. Okay, so when I plugged it into the cord to go to the computer, the screen went black.
Yeah, you're gonna see down there now.
Okay. You're not a veteran at cooking? I mean, you have to start somewhere. You think I was the most professional when I started? Holy shit, look at this, everyone. Things are happening today. I think I'll raise this up for this because we gotta look into this stock pot. Don't fall in, guys. We have success. And that's all that matters. Starting off on the right foot. Okay, so this is our pressure cooker. Samuel's proud of me. Take the lid off, so if you see inside there's like a silicone seal. That's a very important part of the pressure cooker. Now, we'll come in with our, I just call these corn grits. I actually had to source these from an African market, not even the Mexican market had them like this. So if you guys are having a hard time, because in Canada there's not like a ton of Mexican food, maybe check that spot instead. I mean, I did have to buy a mass amount at a time, but that's okay. At least we were able to find it. So now I'm gonna top it with some cool water. You can cook a chicken leg on the grill? That's pretty good. And then, yeah, if I stick my finger in, I usually go an inch of water above whatever you're cooking. As well as a pinch of salt. Because whatever you're cooking is going to soak up the liquid, right? You want to make sure that you have enough so it doesn't stick and burn over time. Where do I get the cooking knowledge? For doing it for like 13 years. Many hours in restaurant kitchens. As well as my home kitchen. Okay, that's that. Let's turn it on to medium-high heat. And then, okay, we'll come a bit over this way now. And we'll come over here. We'll just leave this lid over here. What I usually do with the pressure cooker is bring it up to a simmer first, and then we put the lid on. Let's get a big soup pot. My pot roulette in here, in the corner. The cabinet's a bit full, is the right word. Okay, so we are going to sear off our chicken legs first, and then top this up with some water. I don't know if I can go any further. I might switch these. might switch these right now. Let's do that. That'll be better. You wish you had specialized markets like that where you live? There's a little shop attached to the local Mexican restaurant. That's the size of your bedroom. That's it. Whoa. I mean, I do live right downtown, so that is the bonus of that. I'm assuming, though, that you live somewhere, like, out of the city, if that's the case. I need my scissors. So I don't usually season my stocks at all, because you can always season after. And that way it won't get too salty if you decide to reduce it. So we're just going to go like straight chicken leg into here. I'll keep that on medium high to get it started. And I'm just going to do like a little dollop of some fat in there. Just so that the skin doesn't burn and stick. First thing. The door needs to be bigger. It's just a corner cabinet. That's how they are. They're really annoying, honestly. Okay, there's that. That should be good. Yeah, like remember when we used to live on the island in this small town? Well, we would have to drive like minimum 30 minutes to get to a big store. And then almost closer to like 45 an hour to get into downtown if we needed something specialty. Let's get a little light in our life, guys. It looks better. Yes, it does. Okay. It's getting heated. Start dropping these in. We might have to do only 2 at a time. I don't shop a lot from Amazon for food things. At least I try not to.
We don't have the option to shop. Really, not groceries like in the States.
Yeah, like we can't get groceries delivered with Amazon. But we can get specialty ingredients. I did use it a lot more when we were on the island. I will say that. Let's go that way. Wherever we drop this, we can't really move it right away because it'll stick. So just be aware of where you first drop your chicken leg. And now that might splatter a bit. And I still have one more to cook. I'm going to wash my hands. We're popping. Watch your face. What do I need for that? I'm gonna get just like a liter container filled up with some water so that when these are all browned up, we can top it up and get the stock cooking. It sounds crazy over there. Yeah, it's definitely stuck still, so we'll leave it for a couple moments. Okay, while those two things are going, we can start to get together the baking things. Starting with the cookie bars, guys. Also, I'm going to cross off hominy in the cooker and stock on the stove pot. So let's first line our baking pans that we need. It's also going to get a bit hot, so I'll turn the fan on. But this isn't a huge recipe. I'm gonna do 2 of these smaller pans. You can also do this view, that works. Whoa, we're kind of sideways. So we'll line these up with parchment, give them a little spray with nonstick. Mary, I would assume with where you're at that you probably shop at Amazon every now and then. I'm going to turn this pot down a little bit now. Okay, it's still stuck, it's not ready. But nice try. Chicken is so aggressive when it sears like this. It's kind of scary. Need my scissors again. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with this, see how I kind of measured it halfway? I'm just gonna cut this in half. That way we don't waste as much paper. Once in a while, your last purchase was 00 flour for pizza dough 2 months ago. That ain't bad then. CJ Dewey, how's it going? We're just getting our baking pans lined up here. We got chicken getting ready to turn into stock. Pull off the bone for our soup. And we got hominy in the pressure cooker. There's a lot of things happening. But don't worry, we got this. This is what I did and the reason why I cut the edges, guys. I was hoping that it would, like, yeah, nicely fit down there. Just gotta tuck these. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Let's switch this up. Let me flip it now. Ooh, sometimes you have to like guide it off if it got like too perfectly seared. Also, watch your face. It seems aggressive. Holy, look at that chicken skin though. I'm gonna see if I can sneak that last one in now too. We have one more chicken leg to brown. Give it. It's actually crazy how this skin sticks like that. That's so crispy. Look at that. I just want to eat it, honestly. Nice. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna put that other one there. Samuel? Are you cruising for a bruising over there in the corner?
Oh, man.
Oh, okay. Peanut gallery's going. What? It popped right towards the cam. At least it wasn't at my face. Chicken is terrifying to cook on the stove top. It's never okay. Okay, and then over here, guys, you just turn a little bit. You can see this is starting to simmer. I always just skim the scum off of the top of the pot. Just scoop it in a small container. To me, this is like the impurities coming out of the dried food. The same thing happens with beans as well. And usually I just give it a stir. Make sure nothing is stuck on the bottom, because corn is pretty starchy. And then we can put the lid on and start to pressurize it. And you want high pressure. Sometimes it's hard to put the lid on when it's really simmering like that. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to turn this down to a medium heat now. And I'll wait until it comes up before we set our timer. Now you got the best of both worlds view. How's this going over here? Probably going to take the same amount of time to brown up. So we'll give that a turn so that that gets nice and browned. Okay, back over. So we got our one pan lined up pretty good. It'll get better once we have stuff to go in here. It'll weigh it all down. Let's work on our other one. So all I do is make little slits in the corners so that you can push it down. And you don't have it bunched up. And then try and keep your paper as square as possible too. So now we just need a bit of nonstick to spray in here. It's kind of strategic how you have to do this. That works fine. There we go. And then while I'm waiting on the chicken, we will go grab all of our ingredients. So we need 2 ripe bananas. Oh, it's really splattering on the stovetop now. So you can grab those. Oh no, okay, I tore that one open, so I'll have to use it. So they're ripe. What's happening over here, guys? I need to lift this one up so I can possibly flip this other one over. Nice. It's seared up a bit. So let that go. You can move this one back over. And now, as that finishes, we'll put our turkey bones into there too. Tasty browning, right? That's flavor. Because you could always skim the fat now. That's going to render off. Just skim that off of your stock. And then you don't have to eat it. Turk's bones. Only thing we're missing is the duck. Nestle that in. Turn this down to more of a simmer. This hasn't come up yet. The pressure cooker. Guess I'll turn that pot back up a bit. Okay, ready guys? I'm gonna go in for the pour. So we just need everything covered in water now. And then up to you, like you can always add aromatics now into that pot with the meat and the bones. But often I will just keep it plain because you can always add the flavor like when you make the soup, right? Okay, so this is this. Turn this down a little bit now to control it, but we can set the timer for the pressure cooker. So we said I'm gonna do 25 minutes. Beautiful. Yeah, you might not really see that, but we got a good little steam vent coming out there. You can hear it. Now we'll come back over and get that topped up. We'll put a lid on, and now we can focus on our baking. And then later on, the soup won't take nearly as long. So yes, those chicken legs in this pot, we need to cook them through so that we can pick the meat off of those bones for the legs. It'll take a little bit of time, but you don't want to dry it out too much either, right? So don't let it go for hours and hours if you're gonna use that meat in a recipe. Usually my pressure cooker, I set it on like 3.5 out of 9 on my stove top. Okay, boom. Everything is set. Now let's come back here and work on our baking. The only thing I am gonna do, because the chicken splattered like so much on the stovetop, I'm just gonna wipe up some of that grease right now. I can't stand it, like working in a dirty kitchen. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got our 2 ripe bananas to mash for this. We need peanut butter, either almond flour or coconut flour. We got this. It does say natural peanut butter. This is one of our favorite brands. We need maple syrup, baking soda. I guess we should also turn the oven on too. Okay, baking soda, maple syrup's over there, coconut flour, chocolate chips. The chocolate chips go in at the end, so we'll put those over here. The mic is clipping. When is it doing it, Greek? It was doing it. Maybe when I was over by the pressure cooker, the sound of it. It's like, I don't know what to do. Whoa! I don't know what's happening over here, but there's a lot of like liquid coming out of the top. So usually that happens when there's like a piece of corn or something stuck in it. So I'm gonna turn that off currently and let that fizzle out. I don't know what's going on. Did you hear that? It was like, okay, sounds good. We're gonna carry on. I'm gonna grab the cinnamon and salt. This is why you start those things early. Pressure cookers, man. Not a good sound. Just turn it off, take it off of the heat, let it simmer on down. The binder for this, there is 1 egg, so you get some good protein in these bars. Right? That's what I was thinking, but we didn't put like barely anything in there, Bonk, for it to boil up. We'll see. But usually it only does that, guys, when like I'm done the cooking part and I'm venting it at the end. So I was like, that's a little weird. Okay, oven needs to go to 325 Fahrenheit for these. I'll go a bit higher like always, just because that's how my oven cooks. Oh, like 345, 350. Ugh! The top of this thing is so bad. It's like stuck with starch. I'm gonna just put it into the sink and put the cloth over it. That's a good way to solve that problem. It's the soapy, foamy water touching the ceiling. Even with us putting like extra in it, it's still got that starchy. Greek, if you didn't check it, that's the sound of it's gonna explode. What the heck? Okay, we still have to spray our pans before we get our hands dirty. Let's do that. The things that happen to me, at least I get to deal with all of the scary stuff and show you guys what to do to fix it. Maybe we'll just switch to a regular pot. One spritz. We'll leave that on the side. I'll keep venting it the rest of the way. It's so nuts. We barely even got it going and it's already causing problems. It's so nuts. Don't mind me, I'll just be cooking hominy juice out of the whole kitchen for the next few days. Do I even need this big of a bowl to make our dessert? I don't feel like it. It's a pretty small amount, so let's go with this. Hi, Easy Weezy. You're here for the pozole. You're gonna learn something today. Currently, we are learning about why the pressure cooker is being funny with the hominy corn. Okay, in a large bowl, mash the bananas. Add in the peanut butter, your flour. So one thing I've learned over time, if you ever make flourless recipes with like nut flours, a lot of them call for almond flour, but I like coconut flour. And the coconut flour absorbs more moisture by like double than does almond flour. So just kind of keep that in mind. Just use a little bit less coconut flour if that's what you chose. And so we add everything together and then just fold in the chocolate chips at the end. You can top with a few more chocolate chips before you bake them, and it takes 25 minutes or so. Sounds great. Bananas first, then egg. Did this thing settle down over here finally? No, I don't think. Oh yeah, I think so. Okay, look it. My cloth is like steaming. So that's how much heat builds up inside of there. That's just from it sitting on top of the vent. So I've fully opened it now. And the lid released. I'm gonna see what the heck is going on in here. Do you guys want to see at the same time? Coconut flour does taste like coconut. Just need a trivet here so you don't burn the board. Yeah, I like the nutty flavor of the coconut flour miche compared to the almond flour. Like, look at the lid. That's what I was talking about, is like the starchy water was coming out of this vent. So let's see what the heck is going on. Nothing. Okay, but we can see this. So yeah, it started to boil up. And that's why the starch was getting caught in there. So first thing I'm going to do is give that a good rinse with hot water. So you don't want those holes to get plugged. I'm going to go through the top as well. Like, give it a little turn. And rinse the full lid off too. Because that's just going to cook on to an absolute mess. if we heat this back up. Okay, next, we're gonna take a spoon and eat a kernel of corn. So that's what it looks like. It definitely absorbed a lot of liquid. Let's go like way less. Hi, Floating Cozy. How was the rest of your stream? Welcome in. Yeah, I don't love almond flour either, Mish, unless it's like in macarons. There's more surface area, so more bubbles, Bonk. What the heck? It's like almost cooked. I'll give it to Samo. Like, I'll probably just boil this with the lid off the rest of the way. It reminds me currently of, like, al dente pasta. But out of our 24-minute timer and that whole thing that went on, I still have 12 minutes on it. I think those only cooked for maybe 7 minutes. That's all we're gonna do, guys. We're just gonna boil it, because that is pretty much there. First, we will still work on our dessert. This is totally fine to just hang out in the warm water. We are ahead of the game now, I would say. My poor stovetop. Between the grease, guys, and the corn starch, sploot. Somebody send help. I'm going to rinse out this cloth and stuff. I'm just going to do a quick little cleanup before we finish the chocolate chip bars. And yeah, Floating Cozy, so far my day is good. Just kind of getting started, being slow, but I'm happy that the sun came out. It's been very gray and dark in the mornings here lately, like not too much sunrise is happening. That's so crazy. So homony's crazy, just so that we're all aware. All right, back to this. If I just like stuck the bananas into the bowl. So I'll get these peeled and in here. We'll mash them up. Then we'll do, usually I do the egg and then peanut butter, maple syrup, and then we'll finish with the dry stuff. And the chocolate. Oh God. That banana said, no way, Jose. It's lost its structure. I could not eat these bananas right now. I don't know what kind of banana people you guys are, but I can't eat overripe bananas. I think that we'll use a whisk for this. The whisk works really good to mash the banana up. Use this one with like the bigger holes between. I mean, you do want really ripe bananas if you're going to use them for baking, because they have the best flavor that way. And then you can always decide like how chunky or how smooth you want your mashed bananas. I think for this we'll go pretty nice and smooth. But sometimes when I make banana bread, I like it a bit more chunky. And then obviously it'll get broken down more when we start to mix everything together. But that looks good. Crack our eggie. Your sister just kindly sent along blondies and cupcakes. Oh, speaking of cupcakes. One thing I stumbled into yesterday on my Instagram page is there's a dairy place here called Foothills Creamery. And next Saturday, they're doing a cupcake eating contest. And if you win, you get free butter for an entire year from them. So I was like, Sam, this is your moment. This is it. This is your time to shine. So we'll see what his work schedule is like and then go from there. Okay, we want 1 cup of peanut butter. That's not a small amount. Can I even get this out? It looks like we need to stir it up too. Right, that's what I said, Greek. I was like, okay, but you have to like still live after you do this. I was like, you can't die by eating cupcakes. I guess both of us could do it. It says there's only allowed to be 12 contestants. So I'm sure they wouldn't allow 2 people from the same household to try and enter it. Okay, we got crunchy peanut butter for this. I don't know, it would like just have enough. Right? All should be fair in baking or in contests too. I don't think I would be good at a contest like that because I'm a slow ass eater, Mary. That's the thing that I'm trying to say, I guess. Just pretend like we don't know each other. Holy! How perfect was that? So I guess we'll just clean out the jar then. Poshers is watching this right now. She says, give me that jar. Right? That would make a funny death certificate. Cause of death. Cupcakes. Poshers is licking her chops, hey? Did you guys get to see the full moon last night? It was so dang bright, you couldn't even look at it for that long. It was awesome here. We did a bit of grilling last night, too. Oh, I think there was also possibly a murder down the street last night again. It's like the second time in like a month, I would say. So that was fun to watch while we were trying to make our dinner on the grill. Hi, Faded. Make hot chocolate, pour it in the peanut butter jar. Mary, yours is full of all of these great ideas. Because the caramel coffee, I don't know if Samo posted it.
I didn't.
But we did your idea of making the coffee in the caramel jar, and oh, it was perfect. If you had to die, you'd want it to be by cupcakes. It's not a bad way to go. There's definitely worse ways. Okay, next one. A little bit of sweetener. Maple syrup or honey, they said. 1/3 of a cup. I'll just bring both of these in case I need them. Maple syrup is supposed to be a healthier sweetener because it's natural. It has a lower glycemic index to it. So it's not going to spike your blood sugar the way that like sugar cane does. But it is very expensive to use maple syrup all the time. So just be aware of that part, I guess. Maybe you know a guy. Okay, now let's get this mixed up a bit with the whisk, and then we'll probably have to switch to the spatula. I thought we'd get this part really nice and smooth. Right? Honey would work too with all the flavors. A lot of people like peanut butter with banana and honey. That just transformed. Give that a taparoo. Yeah, agave. I don't know, like, agave got popular there for a bit. What, about 8-10 years ago? And then it just kind of phased itself out. But yeah, I didn't mind using agave. Annie! Annie! Thank you. Okay, we need a pinch of cinnamon. They said a teaspoon. Just measure it in there. We are chillin'. So far, so good in this household, other than almost exploding the pressure cooker. But we didn't. We got it under control. Annie, I hope you're doing okay. He says, you gotta love the taparoo, Kate. And thanks for gifting 5 subbies to our kitchen crew today. Let's welcome in. Also, you've gifted 1,041 now. How do we say this? SWFL Chris, JPAC 8071, Chef MDT the second. We know them. Urban Hangman. And what? How do you say that? Fuck Dweet. I like it. Okay, what else did I miss here? Greek says you could use xylitol. I suppose you could. I've never bought that though. Slam says, does chat have any opinions on overnight oats? I remember they were so trendy a few years back. Not my favorite. I just don't like the texture of them once they absorb everything. I'm not like a mushy food type of person. It gets to me quick. Maybe like make up the mixture the night before. Whoa, I was like, what's happening? And then add your oats the next morning. Up to you. Why is Sam laughing? I broke the kitchen? I didn't do it. Well, I almost did, I guess. It wasn't. Okay, Annie just is like, I'm gonna just finish this off because we can't have it uneven. Thank you as well, because it was not a multiple of 5. We got a Starcy, Blind Bat, Do You Want Me to Beat 'Em Up, and Fan Mom Reva. Welcome in, my wonderful peoples. Mish. I'm innocent in this. Mish, thank you very much. Gifting the sub to Wall Street Brian, part of the kitchen crew now. The Mishinator. You gotta watch out for her. Okay, Annie, guess what? This entire stream is friendly for you. Both the soup and both of our baking things are flourless, gluten-free. You're welcome. Okay, so what was happening with the pressure cooker? We had people asking. I'm gonna dig out the lid from the sink. I just got a little bit of peanut butter on top because we were done with it. All of a sudden, after we had it pressurized and it was cooking, it started to spew like starchy water out of the top, and it kind of sounded different. Like the pressure was not able to fully come out. So I was like, oh gosh. So I turned off the burner, took it off of the heat, and then let it just start to release the pressure naturally. And then, yeah, when we looked inside, you can kind of see the residue there from the starchy water. Like, all of this was kind of coated in, like, was almost like snotty feeling of a residue from the corn that we were cooking. But then when we tasted it, Well, it's almost cooked. So that didn't take long. So we just decided that we will finish boiling what's in this pot for a few minutes, and that will be good. If you guys want a little peek at the stovetop, and like, yeah, the entire stovetop is destroyed from us just trying to cook hominy and make some stock. But yeah, just turn that down now to a lower heat so it can simmer. Also, let's dig down here. I'm just gonna get our chicken legs up so that we don't forget about them. So that was a 24-minute timer that I had set for the pressure cooker originally. What do we think for our chicken legs? Maybe cook them about 15 more minutes, and then we'll take them out, let them cool, and pick the meat off and let the stock keep going. That sounds pretty good. A dirty hands hug, yucko. Annie's posting a YouTube short in chat, or in Discord. Thank you. Okay, back to this. In here, we have egg, peanut butter, banana, cinnamon, maple syrup so far. We need some dry ingredients and then the chocolate chippies to mix in at the end. A teaspoon of baking soda. We'll use this spatula to finish mixing because it's gonna get thick. Gotta do this over the sink. It was really dangerous. Okay, we're just gonna roll with that amount. A teaspoon of baking soda. We're gonna go with the coconut flour, do a little bit less than the almond flour amount, which was supposed to be a 1/4 cup. Smells numbage. You were gonna rake leaves today, but you were too lazy. That was like us. We were gonna go to the gym today.
What happened to the stove?
But then we were too lazy. I don't know. Don't ask.
What'd you do?
It really went bad.
Oh, man.
But at least everything for stream is working. We need a pinch of salt still, guys. Are you a pepperoni man? Pinch of salt, and then it will be 1/2 cup of chocolate chips plus more for garnish on top. We sprinkle them. Procrastination wins again. Yeah, like I said, we don't often like hang out, take slow days in bed on the weekends. So that was actually nice. Whoa, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
You would make a
Nice
bite of
try.
that sausage on stream?
Did you show them what you have? Okay. Okay, guys, so we're just gonna gently mix this. I guess since there's no flour, there's not any gluten to overwork. It's not hot? That's good. This seems pretty soupy. No, it's bars. I guess when you think about banana bread, it kind of looks like this too when you first mix it. Just making sure all the baking soda and stuff was mixed. That looks pretty dang wet though. It does say batter. So it makes sense. That's why you gotta put nonstick on the pans. Alright. Now to distribute. I think it'll be great still, Greek. You're right. Do a little bit in there so it can weigh it down. A little bit in this one. And then we'll see where we end up. Actually, we might do all the rest in there. Yeah, that's right. We don't want it to be too dry, because if it was dense like that, then that is how it would bake. Super dry. It smells delicious. Okay, looks like we basically have the same amount in each baking dish. If you had an 8x8, then you wouldn't have to do what I'm doing. Spread it out a bit to the edges. And then with the baking soda in here, that'll help it rise. That looks good. Whoa, this one I'm gonna tuck inside actually. There. Otherwise I feel like the batter would have splooted when it baked. Would have snuck out that one edge. I don't know, that was real easy to mix up. All in the same bowl. Let's soak that because I feel like it's going to turn into cement if we don't get some water in there. Do the whisk, spatula, everything. This thing, gone. Okay, a little bit more chocolate chippies on top, it says. Because we can. All right, it says about 25 minutes in the oven now. Let's see if I can turn this down a little bit today. I felt like I was getting blinded. Mish turns on Discord. Turn on the Discord. Okay, guys, say goodbye. I'll put them on a sheet pan so they're easy to take in and out. And actually, the next thing I think we'll do is we have to toast coconut for the Aloha Brittle. So maybe we should prep that. Okay, there's 2 minutes left for the chicken legs. We'll take those out next. I'm gonna set 15-minute timer for our cookie bars, and then we'll check them at that point, see if it needs 10 or maybe less since they're separated in smaller pans. I think that went a little bit too low, the lights. There we go. You have to do what the mod says, Mish, or else. Okay. Boom. So I'm just gonna take those chicken legs out, let them cool off in a roasting pan so that we can pick the meat off of. So we seared them and then slowly cooked them in this broth with some turkey bones. Look at the color of the broth already. nice plump chicken leggies. Perfect. And I'm not going to top that pot back up with liquid. We'll just let the stock keep cooking. So we'll let that cool on the side. You bought a 2.5 kilo bag of Calibo chocolate Calais last year for around $41. Was it the milk, dark, or white? And then, yeah, now you're saying it's $53 a bag. But why do you think I had a chocolate restock fund for our bit goal? Okay, I'm gonna put these couple things away. Grab our coconut. Just a small bag of coconut. Actually, they didn't have this for forever at Costco. And coconut at the regular store is insanely expensive. This is what we're working with today. It's like $12 for 2 kilos. It's like, are you joking me? So this is what they say on the Aloha Brittle. Butter a large baking sheet with butter, obviously. Sprinkle the coconut in a 12-inch circle. What? On the pan. Okay, this is what I believe is actually happening here. The coconut doesn't get toasted. What happens is the coconut is like the bottom part of the brittle. So that's why they poured it kind of in a circle, right? Because when you pour it from the pot, it's going to smooth itself out like that. I don't know if you necessarily need a circle. Just make sure you pour the liquid candy when it's ready over the coconut. But like, you could always mix it back in. So that's actually all we do with the coconut. We don't toast it. We just put it on a buttered sheet pan. I mean, every time I've made brittle, I don't butter the pan. I just put parchment to line it, and that it makes a perfect barrier. Rather than fooling around with butter and like, what if you miss a spot? What if it sticks? Okay, so let's get our sheet pan. You were gonna butter it with lard, right? Butter your sheet pan with butter. Oh, thank gosh. Let's line this with parchment. Guess that's why I didn't put the parchment back in the pantry. It's just chilling right here. I'm gonna do a really big piece so none of the edges will stick out. Like, I usually tear it this way, but this time I'm gonna go this way. We are fully covered, ready to roll. So now, how much coconut? Also, they use sweetened coconut. I don't like sweetened coconut. We don't need the extra sugar. Half a cup is what we want. Brand new bag. Let's open it up. One thing I don't think I've looked is where this coconut is sourced from. The Department of Redundancy Department. This is product of Vietnam, guys. Product of Vietnam. Okay, half a cup, and then we're gonna spread it out to where we'll cover it with the brittle. So you don't want like it piled up, let's say. Otherwise you'll have brittle that has lots of coconut and then some that has none. There wasn't quite half a cup in there, so I did a bit more. hold on to that. We might need it again. The coconut will also help hold the parchment down on the sheet pan. They said about a 12-inch circle, so I'll just kind of go with where I think the candy will spread out to. I did more of a rectangle. But that is good now. Put that somewhere safe. I'm actually going to just pop it up over here in front of myself. Otherwise, yeah, we don't have any more room on the counter. Guys, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in a moment. I had 3 coffees today. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm feeling good. I have returned. Mish just sneaks in a feta complaint. Why is there a fan going in the middle of winter? Well, you know, in some apartment buildings, they don't put in forced air systems. So this apartment building, the only source of heat that we have is radiant, and it's on the ceiling, which... I mean, like, don't even get me started on how much not sense that makes. Let's put the heat on the ceiling where it's going to rise up to anyways. And yeah, it just gets really hot in here. So I have the fan blowing so that it kind of like moves the air away from the kitchen and then out the window that is over by Samo. But yeah, that is our current situation. So like, if I don't have that fan going, it gets too hot in here and then the GoPro shuts off. Things like that. So we've just solved our own problems over the years. And yes, it is ridiculous. Okay, back to our Aloha Brittle. We have 5 minutes on our bars in the oven. We got stock going. Homini's almost cooked. Chicken has to be pulled, which I'll write on there. Maybe Sam can help with the chicken part. But I'm pretty quick at that. I don't think we need to be concerned. He says, I got the pincers. Whoever approved the HVAC architectural plan should be shot, drawn, and quartered. I've never seen a heat system like this before. And it just, like, is broken. It doesn't work consistently ever. I'd much rather have just, like, a baseboard heater. Much easier to deal with. Okay, we got our coconut on the parchment on the sheet pan because the brittle will be poured onto there. In a heavy saucepan. Remember when we made caramel last time and I said make sure you have nice high sides on your pot? Because when you make caramel or candy things, it bubbles up and you don't want it to bubble over. So definitely choose a pot that's bigger than what you need. Just judging by what we have here, there's like 1.5 cups of sugar, 3 ounces of macadamia, and 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. That's not like a huge batch. But we will combine the white sugar with the corn syrup and then cook it until it reads 240 degrees Fahrenheit. And it says stirring constantly, which some recipes will say stir it I've been taught from like school, oh, you never touch the sugar, it'll just crystallize. So I'm learning as we go along and cook a few different caramel and candy recipes. Yeah, you can stir it, it's okay. And so then I would say measure out your macadamia nuts, measure out your pecans and anything else that has to go into that pot with the candy. You don't want to be fooling around with that stuff while you have hot sugar on the stove top. So this is kind of cool. Combine the baking soda with water and vanilla. And that gets mixed in right at the end. And then you pour it over the coconut and let it cool. I've never done that part of a recipe for making brittle. I'm really intrigued by that. The water, baking soda, and vanilla at the end. Right, Mary? We've always wondered about stirring.
It makes it super puffy up, like almost like honeycomb.
Right? Because the water, when you add the water to something as hot as that, it's going to just aerate and evaporate almost instantly and create like steam pockets, right? And then the baking soda, well, it makes things expand too. And then you just add your vanilla at the end to preserve all of that flavor. So if you add the vanilla into your candy first, you'll probably cook out a lot of that flavor because it's at such a high temperature. That's why that's at the end. Okay, let's get our sugars and stuff. I got the 2 nuts in here. Got our macadamia nuts. And then we gotta dig in. Last of our pecans. Even then, I don't think we'll be able to use all of them. Dang. But the macadamia and pecans can go in the same container. And then we do just need a little nub of butter as well. So half a cup of each of those. Up to you whether you want to like chop up the pecan halves. But like when you make brittle, you kind of tear it or break it apart into pieces anyways, and the nuts will break apart. Up to you how fine you want it. Let's get a couple different containers. We're doing so good already today, guys. Half a cup of pecans. Our macadamia nuts. Gotta make cookies with the rest of that. Annie's favorite. Oh, that's the wrong place. Ah! Attack of the ice cream. I guess there's worse things to get attacked by. Okay, that. Our water, baking soda, and vanilla. We thought we were done with the baking soda. We didn't even know. Vanilla, baking soda, and then I know we need corn syrup, and then sugar. This is something you learn in a restaurant. Like if you go to the pantry for something and it's a bit of a ways from your workstation, you always come back with full hands too. Okay, the timer for the bars went off as I was back there picking. We did 15 minutes. Holy smokes. They're exploding. They look really good. I think for sure we can do another 10. But they're like looking really nice and high already. Corn syrup is really good, Annie. If you do make like caramel or candy at home, this is a stabilizer. Anytime sugar is liquid, Like glucose is the best one. But yeah, anytime you have liquid sugar like this, it's gonna help things not crystallize as fast. Can you use invert sugar instead? I don't know if I've ever. I need to actually Google that right now. Trimoline? Is that what it's called? I've only ever used glucose. Like just pure glucose. But yeah, I've never used the invert sugar. I'm intrigued. There's so many different sugars, hey? Okay, we need 1 teaspoon of each of all these things. Baking soda, water, and vanilla. Let's do the dry things first. And then we'll do the water and vanilla. Oh, really, Bonk? So your candy company video that you were watching, they use like a 1 to 2 corn syrup to white sugar. Hello? What's the point of having this big ass box of baking soda if you can't even like get it to the pour spout? Something about this does not make sense to me. Okay, I need to do a bit more. Yes, yeah, like they'll use it in a ganache for chocolate to get that like proper sheen. The mirror glazes, stuff like that. Okay, I'll do a little bit more, maybe not all of this. And then we're good. Sam's barking outside if you guys are wondering. I don't know why. There was a pigeon on the balcony?
Yeah, got it.
Just send your dog after it. 1 teaspoon of water. And then this glorious goodness. Rats with wings. You either feel like one of two ways about pigeons. Some people want to protect them at all costs. Others can't stand them. Okay, I'm not actually... Should I have done all that? We're committing. Scrape it out too. Don't waste it. I'll just mix it up with a little spoon. That looks kind of crazy. Guess that's why we get it prepped now, because it looks a little bit hard to get out of there, but I guess once it's mixed, we'll just scrape it. Maybe if you just had vanilla extract instead of the paste, right, with the gums, it would be more liquefied. All right, next ones. So they said light corn syrup. I always use golden. I know it looks dark, but to me it's not super dark. It's just really dark when it's all together. But that's what we'll use, and I've had no issues using that. I don't know why I brought that over. I don't think we need it. And now we're gonna get our pot and our sugars weighed out into it. What do I feel like using today? I don't think the Le Creuset one will be big enough. The new one that we just got. If we go with this one, that'll be good. There we go. Yeah, pigeon's feathers, I will say, some of them are so nice and like iridescent looking. There's a difference between corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup. The high fructose version is changed enzymatically. Well, this doesn't say high fructose. It just says golden. It's not been changed. All right, half a cup of this, and then 1 whole cup of sugar. Like Bonk was saying, like a 2-to-1 ratio. It's chemically cracked. What? It's starting to smell nummy in here too with those bars being almost done. I got high hopes on that. One cup of sugar. Trying to figure out how I want to measure that. Let's see if I can get the Pampered Chef, if I still have it. I'm pretty sure it got like sealed together last time, and then I just have not gotten it back apart. You guys know the little one I'm talking about, this guy. It's like a push pop. I don't know what happened though. It maybe got too hot in the dishwasher, and then it's sealed together so much I can't push it back out the other side. R.I.P. It's really bad.
Put it in hot water.
Yeah, that'll be like an after stream thing, that's all. Okay, we'll fill half of this up then, and then I'll just use a spatula. Scrape out all the goodness. Looks good. It looks so dark there. Okay, now we'll pour it and it's not as dark. Okay, so remember how last time when we made the caramel, we were stirring, we stirred it all up, and then it got like clumpy. But then it started to melt back again and then turn into caramel, so by how they described the recipe, I would say that's probably what we will be doing with this mixture today. If it says stirring often. And then I will often like use a whisk or just a non-stick spoon. Don't often use metal because it's hard to clean it off of there. Yeah, this has been going on for a bit, Mary. Like people that are saying the seed oils are not good for you. I've heard the same thing. And I've tried to stay away from them quite a bit. Cold pressed. Ooh, so yeah, anytime you have cold pressed, it costs a lot more. It's a longer process. Okay, we're gonna cook this until the thermometer reads 240 Fahrenheit. Where did I put that thing? Over here. So we're gonna sneak our thermometer in, but we'll put this in once this is liquefied. There's no point to put it in now. Let's go over. We got our stock pot there. I think we will just come over. Oh, this burner is really gonna go crazy when we use it because so much of the chicken splattered onto it. Let me just give it a wipe with my soapy sponge. See if we clean off some of that residual chicken fat. And that's my timer going off for our healthy chocolate chip bars in the oven. Okay. We can check it all together. I gotta plug the light back in, chat. It left us. Mmm. Yum. It's like browned on top. It looks so good. Move over, tongs. Need to see what we're working with here. So I always just take the temperature of our baked goods. Nice. Yeah, it's at 205 in the middle. So those are all baked through. And they can cool off. They look like almost mini banana breads. I actually adore how those turned out. Guess we'll just put them on top of the chicken legs to cool. Stack it up. Alright, oven can go off now then. And let's turn this on. We'll go medium heat. I'll go grab a whisk. And then while I'm over there, I'll put a few things away too. Press the Pampered Chef measures down on the bottle. Maybe it would work. Oh, like a cup measure or like a measuring spoon or something? Maybe. I think I have to like heat it back up and then take them back apart while it's warm. No whisk, no reward, Annie says. Hopefully this all goes good. Making brittle can be scary. And then we have the nuts, our baking soda, water, vanilla, and the thermometer here. And we have our sheet pan with the coconut. I'll grab that now that this is what we're working on. And we'll put it over on the cutting board so that we can do the pour all together. Let's get this stirred up a little bit now. And then we'll watch it liquefy. I'm gonna put the coconut away. Done with that. Didn't even make a dent in the bag. I think I'm gonna make a batch of granola coming up again. Been off of the granola game for a bit. Put it on the edge of the cutting board so that I am cutting edge, Annie says. Okay, we're slowly heating up. I think I can go a touch higher. Oh, you got a 2-cup version of that, Mary? That's cool. That's a big one. Okay, and then after this, guys, just working on the pozole and like all of the hard things for the soup are basically done. All right, getting some heat to this stuff. Starting to feel a lot more liquefied. Turn this back on yet? Success. We got light. Angry Rook says there's some punny stuff happening in here. It's not the same without the Annie jokes. And oftentimes when he's not able to make it in on streams, other people will provide the service. Is this even, like, I don't even know how we're gonna be able to register the temperature of this. There's like a 1/4 inch worth of stuff in this pot. Yeah, we got them filling in for you. Okay, I think it's almost bubbling, guys. One other thing that I almost forgot is we just need a teaspoon of butter. Where does the butter go in? With the nuts. The butter goes in with the nuts, guys. Just a teaspoon. And then you do the baking soda and stuff at the end. That makes sense. And then how this is a candy and not caramel, well, there's no whipping cream in this to dilute it. But the butter will give it that nice sheen and flavor that you're looking for. Oh, that's smart, Annie. See, like, I've literally never been told that little trick. If you put a lid on the pot of your candy or caramel when it starts bubbling, the condensation will help, like, put the stuck sugar crystals. It will melt back in to the mixture instead of staying on this side of the pot. Brilliant. Okay, so we put our butter nub on top of the nuts. And that way we don't forget. See how my pot's like uneven too? So it is important during this process to keep things moving. But yeah, I might have to do a little bit of swishing around those edges. It looks like some of the sugar got stuck up there. Okay, I'm gonna try to sneak this on, just maybe over on an edge. A little bit lower in. Okay, we'll go a bit higher there, lower down. What we don't want is the thermometer touching the very bottom of the pot, because then you don't get an accurate reading that way. Nice. Okay, so I have just the tip of it into the sugar. Swiping around these edges again. Where are we at? We're around 150 right now. I don't love to leave the spoon in the sugar pot as it cooks. See if I can move this to where I can see it. I did not set myself up for success. Now, for whatever reason, it doesn't want to stay up. And off of the bottom. How come it worked on the one side and now it doesn't want to? Why are you doing this to me? Okay, we're almost at 200. That's how fast it goes. I'll just kind of pop it up when I do want to take the reading of it. It's looking good. I just want to dip the tip, Mish. Dip the tip. We got sugar sticking onto stuff over here. Give this a little stir around. We're waiting for 240. And then we cook it further to 300. That's your hard crack stage. So that you don't break your teeth on the brittle. We're currently almost at 225 here. Don't touch that dial. Get ready. Okay, 225. We need 15 more degrees. Can you see how the color is also slowly getting more amber? Nice caramelized. It is also getting thicker. As you can see, it's sticking onto the spoon more. That's when you know. Who in chat has made brittle before? Or is this something that you just buy? Okay, we're at 230 now. You've made praline? Oh, yum, Annie. Another really good thing that I've made from scratch before when we were at the brewery was almond rokas during the holiday season too. Okay, we're at 235. Need 5 more degrees. This is the moment, chat. We're gonna go butter first and then both of our nuts. The nuts are a bit cold still, so we'll see what happens here. But that's satisfying. Get that all mixed in. Especially the butter. I'll get some over here. The chill from the nuts like seized up the caramel a bit. I kind of knew that would happen. Just gonna move this out of the way for a moment. Let that come back. I got a sneaky pecan stuck in there. Move out of the way, thermometer. Whoa, they're really sticking together now. What the heck is this? This is wild. Can you guys see how it's like really hard to stir? I guess we just won't. Push this out of there. Whoa! We're making spun sugar, guys. Look at my spike. Watch out. Okay, let's sneak this back in. We still have a ways to go. I've also not adjusted the heat on the stovetop at all during any of this process. Okay, so we're coming back up now. Hazelnut praline, yummy. Hi, Rafools. Hi, Wilson. Welcome in, friends. Your lazy butt just woke up. I hope you enjoyed your rest. Get out of the way, nuts. How am I supposed to read the temperature? Hot nuts. Okay, now we're getting back up there, guys. And you will see, like, this will turn darker and darker. And then what we have waiting on this side, this has to come up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. We have baking soda, a bit of water, and some vanilla. We're at 200. I'm gonna give this a spin, because I know the one side of this burner over here cooks more. And so the reason why we didn't toast any of the nuts prior, well, they're toasting in the caramel right now because of the amount of heat. That is how hot that mixture is. So yes, don't splash yourself. Be careful. Not the best thing to make with kids. Okay, starting to smell it a bit. I'm just going to turn down the heat a touch. The thing with sugar like this is that once it gets hot, yes, it does not cool down much. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything's burning or getting too dark. Just kind of give it a little swirl around. And we're around 225, 230 now, making our way back up. Hi, Rocco guy. Right now we're making what's called Aloha Brittle with coconut, pecan, and macadamia nuts. I've never made this before, but I really wanted to try out the recipe because I love all of those nuts. And the nut brittle is a really nice thing to make during the holiday season, whether it's just for you or you can package it up and bring it to friends and family. You have a scar from making brittle, see? Something you'll never forget. Giving this a little stir. It can be scary, right? I always say hot oil and hot sugar. You should be scared of it. I'm always scared of it. I'm gonna wipe some of that stuff off of the spoon. Look at that. Obviously not gonna use my fingies, but get some of that goodness back in the pot. Make sure it all gets cooked proper. Okay. The sugar strands. What are we at now? I feel like we're getting pretty close. I don't know if this thermometer is giving me an accurate reading, so I'm going to come in with this one. Yeah, see? We're done, guys. Did you see that it hit 303? Now we gotta go quick. Don't worry about this stuff. Just put it in the sink for now. Take this off of the heat. It looks darker there than it is. I need more light in my life. Always on this side. I'm gonna try to mix that in. I see a bit of bubbling there, but it didn't go like crazy. There we go. Like how it usually does. I know it's hard for you guys to see. I'm sorry, but it's really hot and I'm not risking it. Everything's just like covered. That might have went too dark. We'll see how it tastes. But that thermometer did not work good for trying to measure the temperature. So use your instant read. But what it is, I think maybe it will still be good. And then that little bit of extra coconut on the side, I just want to show you how the pot looks right now. I need to get it into the sink. We can just pull up the edges of that parchment though. Get water into there ASAP. And then we'll stick on the rest of our coconut. Just like that. Okay. Now we're gonna let that sit. We can also, like, if this end is really thin, kind of group it back together on top of itself. No spreading. Yeah, you don't want to take the air out that the baking soda just put in. But yeah, this won't take too long to chill either. We'll taste it in a little bit, guys. Not bad, though. That was the first time I think I've had the baking soda part work really good. Okay, that's done. Let that chill on the side. What we had done earlier as well. Let's check those out. Take them off of the sheet pan. These are our flourless chocolate chip banana peanut butter cookie bars. Sheet pan's still clean, so we can just put that back. It just helped us take them in and out of the oven. And we're gonna cut a few pieces of this to try right now, because I am intrigued by it. There's a tax if you need this.
A tax?
Yeah.
What's the tax?
A chicken pickin'.
A chicken picking?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Guys, he doesn't want the bars because he doesn't want to pick the chicken.
Where's the chicken?
Just right there. There's a tax. Whoa, they're still soft. They're gonna be like soft and chewy. You need the energy from the bar first, right?
Yeah.
Gotta keep the energy up, chat.
Yeah.
Can we slide this off? It feels like banana bread. I mean, it basically is. I guess it might firm up when it cools more. Do we want to just cut them into like fingers?
Yeah. Put wheat butter in there.
6 bitties. Out of each side. It tastes good. You had to clean off the knife. Wait, Wilson, I just read your comment that said you made 20 batches of brittle. Oh my gosh. You need a glass of milk with it? Or it's good. He says, he doesn't even know what to do. Dense and delicious, for sure. I don't know what's happening with the light situation in here, guys, but I'm like super lit, and for whatever reason, the cutting board is like dark. But that's how it tears apart. It tastes like banana bread.
Yeah.
It seriously just tastes like banana bread, guys. Especially with it still being warm. Like the chocolate's all melted. My goodness. And we just put around a 1/4 cup of coconut flour in. That's really good. The crunchy peanut butter. Because then you have a little bit of crunchy bits in there. Whoa. Did you see me? I had to look closer. I was like, I think that's a fire. Yeah, we died. We can't go any further, Mish. Okay. That is really good. Like, usually healthy things I don't end up loving very much. And it takes me a while to eat them. But that does not even taste like it's healthy. And like the texture is so good. That's a make again. I had extra bananas, so I thought that would be fun to try. That recipe is a check. That sounds good, Annie. Gluten-free date nut bread. Okay, Samuel's gone the chicken pulling. We are now going to turn the hominy pot back on for a few more moments, just to get that little bit of al dente out of there. Our stock, I think we can strain out of that pot next, actually. We'll strain the stock so that we can reuse that pot to make the soup in now. You know, saving dishes. Always helpful. So let's get a smaller pot now with a fine mesh strainer to go into. And then after this, we're gonna then load up the blender with all of our green ingredients, blend them up, and then we can bring our soup together. It is really that simple. And then while this soup is just simmering for those few minutes, quickly get your garnishes, cabbage, radish, avocado, all done. And Bob might be your uncle. Look at how dark this turned in not a long amount of time. There was turkey bones in here too, though. I forget if they were smoked. Have I made many recipes from the Loopy Whisk? Is that the one I sent you before on Instagram? I don't think I've made many of her recipes, but I always eye them up, let's say. I've thought that they look really nice and that they would work. But that's why I always send them to you. Hello. I'm just gonna rinse all of that out. The one nice thing about not having to saute any of the soup ingredients is that you can just rinse this pot out. Nothing's gonna burn. Scrape a couple things off that got stuck on. Not going crazy though. There, it's a bit better. And now, just take this up. Wow, that's really nice and golden once you take the bones out. Oh, really, Vella? You tried her lemon blondies and then bought her cookbook after. And like the lemon, gluten-free lemon bars recipe that I've shared before, people went nuts for it. It's true. That's my chicken, man. Now your stomach's complaining. This looks good, guys. Let's give it a taste, see how we did. We started that, like what, around 12:30? About 2 hours ago? Huh, that did not take long at all. Yummo. The gluten-free lemon bars, that's the recipe. I would make those like once a week. They're so yummy. Bonk, it's okay. I have leftover lumpia that I'm reheating. Just put it in my face, why don't you? Save the catfish. Mary, thank you. Water. Everyone say, Samo, thank you for picking the chicken. Careful, I have a hot pot of stuff here. Excuse me. You're not supposed to be in there yet. Excuse me. You're really pushing your luck. Excuse me. What, you need the brittle? So we thank him for his services and then he starts to be bad. This is our picked chicken. I'll probably give it a little bit of a chop before we put it in the soup. I was gonna say, like, is it even cooled off enough yet? He says it is. The pan is rocking hot.
Just the outside.
Okay, just the outside, he says. This is what he was going for. It's still soft. See, I can bend it. That doesn't look ready. Put it outside, but then you might have a bird eat it.
Nope.
Just want to show you guys how long it does take to cool off.
I don't need rat brittle. I already have rat pie.
Rat brittle.
Flying rat pie.
Okay. So we got to chop that a bit, but we'll put that to the side for now. I need to somehow actually get the blender base out of here. Move over, Brittle. You're in the way. She's a bit dusty. Get the blender top and then all of our tasty soup ingredients out. Imagine you have just little pigeon foot marks in the brittle. What the heck? Chicken pozole.
Pigeon stew.
And pigeon stew. Okay, they say there are many variations of pozole, a traditional hominy-based Mexican stew. I called it a soup, my bad. Also, excuse me. That was a banana burpee. A Mexican stew closely associated with the Pacific Coast state of Guerrero. This version, a green pozole, derives much of its flavor from tangy ingredients like tomatillos, cilantro, green chilies, lime. Get the tomatillos out. Just got them this morning. We'll need the avocado for our garnish. And if you can get Mexican oregano, I totally forgot to look when we were at this store today. Definitely try to get that. It's similar to the Mediterranean one, but the Mexican oregano has citrusy notes that will better complement the other flavors in the dish. I did hydrate, Mary. Thank you very much. I'm glad I did, because the tip of my tongue is a little burny from the stock. I hate doing that. And then they say, although the Pozole Verde broth is delicious on its own, the toppings are arguably the best part. I don't know if they're the best part, but they're definitely really good to eat all together. Scroll, scroll, scroll. So we need 7 cups of chicken stock. Made that from scratch. 2 cups of water. We added way more water than that, and I probably won't add water. We just put that in the stock. They did 4 chicken breast halves on the bone with skin. I just did 4 chicken legs. I did not weigh out a pound of tomatillos, but I did grab 7 that were nice, good size. I thought that was more than enough. We need a small onion. If you guys can source poblano chilies, definitely get those. We had a hard time, so I just chose a big pack of jalapenos instead. Get the cilantro out from here. Is there garlic? Yes, there is garlic. So we got these, which lately, I mean, jalapenos are like pepper roulette, right? Sometimes a jalapeno is more mild than a poblano. But yeah, the employee at the Mexican market said, well, poblanos aren't in season anymore, lady. So don't expect to find them. And I said, you know what, that's fair. That's my own fault. He said, we're trying to get them in canned, but so far, no luck. I said, that would be cool if you could. Where's my garlic? And we'll get our limes out, and then I think that's it. All of the green things. We can do the oregano leaves, but remember what they said? The Mexican one has more citrusy notes. But I still have so much oregano that, like, I often won't buy an extra version of the same spice if I already have, like, this much to try and use up. You can usually get hydroponically grown poblano. Like, often we were able to get it at, like, all stores, Annie. Because they'd have, like, a little section that had, like, the red and green Thai chilies, jalapeno, usually Anaheim peppers, and then poblanos. But they've, like, phased out poblanos here in Canada. I don't get it. So we're going to start chopping all of this stuff up, adding it into the blender. Let's put the avo and lime for garnish just up top here. They're not going into the mix. And then I did set a timer for our corn back here because it is simmering now. So I just put another 5 minutes on. As Samo said, last time I used this and made him the pozole, it was a little bit crunchy still. So I'll try to not have that happen this time. We'll chop up the onion, and then we'll get the tomatillos peeled and washed, and then we'll chop those up. Who has used tomatillos before? A lot of people think that they're just like a green tomato, but obviously you can see that that is not the case. They actually come from like the gooseberry family. Right? Oh, when I worked at the taqueria bank, we used to get like cases, 25-pound cases of tomatillos in. Sorting through them, peeling them all, and then having to wash them up. It's like my least favorite job because I hate when my hands are sticky like that. It's almost like a waxy sort of like syrup. But yeah, we peel this husk off. Ooh, that one was like a bit moist inside. So that's why we always wash them. I try to pick the really good ones, but you really like can't tell unless you peel all of the stuff away. This one is funny looking. It's like really wrinkled. Same with that one. The hecky. Okay, get rid of those. Ugh. So you can see like on my hands the sheen that they leave. Yeah, it's really waxy. And then when you run your hands under water, they get like really slippery. It's weird. These ingredients that we're using right now is basically like making a salsa verde base. Just missing the vinegars. I think we're gonna turn this corn off back here. Just take some out, cool it off, and then we'll taste it. Yeah. The piece I tasted, much more softened and tender. Ouch! It fell through the spoon. I mean, the only other thing I could think with that version of corn is that it's not canned. So it might always have that little bit of chew. I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that. Putting tomatillos in your guac. Like all of this stuff for the blender, we just rough chop. Let the blender do all the work for you. And I really find that tomatillos don't really have a flavor. Like, not much at least. But let's see. Yeah, it's just super sour. Actually reminds me of something that I've eaten when I was young out of the garden. Like really, like rhubarb? Yeah. That's got like a rhubarb-esque flavor to it. Interesting. Tomatillo strawberry pie. Nobody will even know the difference, Mish. Okay, let's do jalapenos next. Hello, my peoples. The cooking class poor. Thank you very much for the raid today. Hi, Luminology. We know them. How is your stream? What did you get up to? We're currently working with all of our green verde ingredients to finish off our Mexican chicken pozole, which I called it a soup, but apparently it's a stew. My husband actually requested this. He saved up channel points and asked me to make this for him because this is one of his favorite soups. Oh no. The pepper's got a boo-boo. We'll watch for that later. Okay, so they did 2 poblanos and 2 jalapenos. Why don't we see how spicy these are first? We'll give them a wash as well. And then we can add more if we want. But the word that I got from the Mexican market today is that poblanos are not in season anymore. So they might be hard to find. Maybe that's just a Canadian thing. I don't know. Hi, Shayna. Welcome in. We got hammered. And usually when I make this soup and blend everything together, I won't, like, cut the seeds and stuff out. I'll leave that all in and blend it up. Just gonna take a little slice from here. It literally tastes like just a bell pepper. There's no heat to that at all. Do I want to leave the seeds in and stuff then? I guess we can. So I'll probably use all of these jalapenos. Bonk, this is like the least flavorful jalapeno yet. I got these ones from Walmart actually. I don't like the texture of the seeds, so I'll take some of them out. If these were spicy, though, I'd leave some in, right? Because like Bonk said, that's where most of your heat is from. If I try this one, a different one. A little, like, hiss of heat from that, but nothing crazy like how jalapenos used to be. Yeah, they're probably grown in hot house. I think we'll be good with that. I'm not going to add any more. I'll save those other 2 jalapenos for something else. Next up, let's get our garlic peeled. I am going to wash my hands first just because there was a touch of heat. And I don't want to forget. And then possibly touch my eyeball. Make sure you use soapy water when you do that. Saw the pozole, and it was perfectly themed for your stream. Okay, cool. You made some really legit tamales. Oh my gosh. I've been craving those too, actually. We didn't have any ready in the hot case at the Mexican market today. Might have been able to ask, but we were there right when it opened. Okay, so you made tamales with a rendered citrus garlic pork fat in the dough for them. And chorizo. Did you put cheese in with the chorizo? Like, I'm pretty sure I would die if I ate that. In a good way. I would eat it and then die. Also made your kids cake for their 3-year-old birthday. Happy birthday to your kiddo. Banana cake, chocolate ganache, and peanut butter buttercream. Oh, that sounds similar to, like, our healthy chocolate chip bars that we made. So we just baked them like in a bread pan because I don't have a square baking pan. So we made two of those. And yeah, this is so good. It's flourless too, which I was really impressed by. It is tamale season, Bonk? Really? I didn't know there was like a time of year. Like around the holidays maybe? I guess that would make sense. What did they say? 4 garlic cloves. Let's do like at least 6. Yeah, we'll do 6. It's always a good time for tamales. Morning, afternoon, night, anytime is a good time for tamales. And that's another thing that Sam really likes when I make for him at home. I do still have a bunch of corn husks. Yeah, I've heard a few stories. Like the first time I ever made tamales on stream, somebody like was basically guiding me the whole time in chat because I have never made them before. And that was so much fun because like usually I'm teaching you guys. But that was a stream where chat was teaching me. And yeah, they're saying stories of like the whole family will help out. Make an assembly line. And that way it doesn't take forever. Who guided me? Was it like Venus Tranquility or something? I honestly don't remember. Or was it Vela? Because Vela's in here right now. Or they were. Guido? Or Guido? Okay, what else? So we got onion, tomatillo, jalapeno, garlic. We need cilantro and oregano. A tablespoon of oregano leaves. And then half a cup of cilantro. Oregano. This stuff can get put back. Move this up. Get our cilantro out. Not you, Vela. You've never made tamales. Okay. But yeah, it was years ago. Like, we lived on the island still. It was a while, Mish. We still have a bit of cilantro chopped from Friday's stream for garnish. So I think we're good there. Just take the rest of that out. And whenever I make pozole, put the cilantro in it, I will keep the stems in because the blender will break that down. You don't have to chop the stems off. You can trim off the little part where it's like browned and not that good looking, but the rest of this we can keep. All I ever do, first we can pick out the not so nice pieces if there is some. But yeah, I just cut this into around 1-inch lengths so that the stem doesn't get wrapped around the blender blade in the bottom. That's gone. Misha's like, let's go look. I don't know if it was Tristan. I don't think it was a 2018 one. It might have been like 2019, 2020. Rook, maybe?
Nope.
It wasn't Rook. It's funny that we're all just like, who the heck was it? Okay, that's everything for the base. We can add the lime juice later. We don't usually want to cook the lime juice too much because then it might go too sour. Put the cover on this. February 22nd, 2020. That actually might have been it. Turkey tamales with mole sauce that I made. And like a crema. Whoa. I made some crazy stuff back in the day. But yeah, it was a menu request with somebody. Okay, don't plug it in there, Kate. Don't plug it in there. Last time I did that, the power went out on stream. Annie. Be careful. Be careful, everyone in chat. Behave yourself. So we're gonna blend it up until it's nice and smooth. What do they say? Directions. Gather the ingredients. We did. Bring the chicken stock to a boil and cook the chicken. We did. In a blender, combine all of your other green ingredients. We are. Add a cup, guys, of the cooking, so the stock. We can add a cup to this to get it smoother, because right now it's just kind of mulching. So we'll add a cup of the liquid to make it more smooth. And then, okay, this is the scariest part. I always forget about this. Sam's dying. You guys. You guys have been waiting for that for forever. I'm sorry, but some people need to learn the hard way. This smells so good. Care to test it out? Oh my gosh. Okay, what's the other one you found, Mish? A partner-versary smorgasbord?
Jenkins.
I don't think it was that one, Mish, but thanks for actually reminding me. Next Saturday, because there's no Friday stream, I'm busy at my culinary school doing my alumni dinner with the students. So next Saturday on stream is our partner-versary for the year. Okay, let's add 1 cup of broth. That works. I was like looking for a container so I didn't have to go back down the hallway. 1 cup of chicken broth. It is a bit warm. And then we'll blend that smoother. And then, okay, the part that I hate doing this, don't heat the oil up first before you put this in the pot. Some of you may remember. But you want to put the oil in together with this paste. Otherwise, you will literally have pozole base exploding all over your kitchen. Just the amount of moisture in here with the hot oil. I'm sure you could tell what happened by the way that Sam is laughing. Somebody save him. Mish, I don't know if he can be saved. Turn it up, baby. There we go. The greeneries. And we stop. That looks amazing. Give it a little taparoo, the lid, because it was really chugging up there. Careful as you take the lid off. I'm gonna grab a spatula. I know which one I want. Strategic cooking with it is this one. Ta-da! Look at how nice and green it is. It's like curry paste, but not. That's what it reminds me of. Don't spill it like I almost did. Just want to scrape this stuff out of here. So we got the chicken cooked and pulled. We just need to chop it a bit. The hominy is cooked. We can just strain it from the water now. And then we just have to fry this and add the broth to it. And we are pretty much there. Just the garnishes, and we're good to go. I'm gonna put a couple of these things away so we don't get too bunged up. Take the radish out, cilantro, cabbage. Is this the Vitamix? It is. Oh yeah, and our other lime for the soup. And then we have some for garnish. So now let's go back over. Maybe not yet, actually. We'll quickly chop this. So the thing that happened with the Vitamix, Annie, is that the blade component in the top actually seized up over time. And I guess that wasn't an us problem. That was a them problem. Thank gosh, because I honestly thought I broke the whole blender, right? And so then they just replaced the whole blender top for free. So you have a brand new one after using it for like 8 years. So that's why it really started smoking that one time. Because that part was just seized up down there. It's not like we really did anything wrong. I'm a little bit picky about when I do chicken. I just always look through like any tendony bits like that, make sure it's out. Because I cannot handle that texture when I eat soup. But Samo did most of it for us. I'll just pick through one more time before we chop it up. Seems like we cooked it really nice too. It's so tender and juicy still. No veins allowed. No gross things allowed, chat. That's all. Okay. Just gonna rinse my hands. want to get chicken fat all over the knife. Yeah, some people like it. I know in Asian cuisines, they really like their like tendons and stuff like that. That is one texture in food, not for me. Not even once. Never been, and I don't think it ever will. Just kind of push it into a line, and then we can just rough chop it. Remember, like, soups and stews should be pretty easy to eat with just a spoon. But if you leave everything too large, well, then that won't be the case. I think that looks great, guys. Rinse that off. The reason that I did this first is, like, once you get the pozole base in with the oil, you want to just really be standing there stirring a bit. Here's my other spoonie. Mish says, this is my last bit. Be careful telling some people that. They might take advantage of you. We're back. One more light level. Yes. That's the ticket. Okay, what did they say the amount of fat in here? Is it a bait statement? It's not a bait statement. I was just playing off of Annie and Misha's game that they always play together in chat. Okay, just a tablespoon of oil, guys. Like, that's nothing. Nothing at all. I'm gonna take that oil bottle out that I used yesterday for the beef. And guys, Sam is like obsessed with the Thai beef that we made yesterday. He says, why have I never had this before? I said, I don't know. If you want to discover the brittle, it's probably cooled. Okay, there's our cooking oil. Now, before that gets too hot, literally just pour all of your base in there. I don't understand why we make the paste, but then add in liquid and then fry it again. That just seems a bit dangerous. Go medium heat. Just putting a few things away while I'm waiting. Gotta stay organized. Look how green that looks. Wow. Misha's finding bits in her underwear. What the heck? That doesn't sound kosher. Okay, that's gone. How's this? Is it heating up yet? Not quite. What do we think, guys? We want to strain the hominy? Look at this. From the liquid, or you want to just pour it into the pot with everything? I don't know yet. Alright, that's everything for the pantry. Now we just gotta finish our garnishes while we bring this together. Nothing about you is even kosher. Well, fine. Then you're on the right track. You guys are playing some No Man's Sky? I like those type of games to watch when Samo plays them, I will say that. Okay, so we'll wait a little bit for this. I'll bring the chicken over on the hominy pot. We'll just kind of monitor the stove while we finish the garnishes here. Stove S, cut L. Cilantro is already chopped. Let's get some radishes sliced nice and thin. Hopefully these ones aren't too strong. I also was impressed with how nice and small and petite these radishes were. They look really good. That'll probably be more than enough. And what I always do is pour some cool water. Nice cold water in there, and it'll help keep the radishes crisp after you cut them up. And then every now and then we'll just come over here and give it a stir as it's heating up. I just splashed a little bit out of the pot. Be careful, don't get it in your eye. And then we're also gonna wash all the radishes first too. No movement yet. I hope it doesn't explode. Maybe we'll just put the lid semi over that pot for now. I'm scared. You'll only make molten pozole once. We'll cut the radishes in half so they're nice bite-sized pieces for garnish. And then just nice and thin. Eat that bigger chunk. Mmm. Good flavor. A little bit strong. I gotta stir this. Yeah, there's bubbles. Okay, we're bubbling. I'm not as scared now. Sometimes it makes a volcano. We'll let that cook out a little bit. We got the radish crunch. Mm. I'm only on medium heat. I'll go one notch higher. Whoa, this looks crazy. It's like it's dried out. Hello? I'll just eat that one. Has anyone ever made roasted radishes? And that's how we'll use up the rest of that bag. Okay, let's switch over here. Also, just gonna read over the recipe. See what we gotta do after this. Cook, stirring occasionally until the sauce turns a deep green. Says for about 12 minutes. And then we pour the broth in with the chicken and the hominy. It is changing in color. I just want it to stay nice and vibrant though still. I don't want it to go too brown if you cook it too much. We can always taste it right now and see how we feel. The radish is like spiced up my tongue. That's gonna be so good. Mary, how do you roast them? Whole or sliced? It's spicy. When it takes your breath away. Okay, one of those jalapenos was really spicy. Obviously the one that I didn't try. But yeah, usually I just tip and top the radish like a root vegetable. And then depending on the size, you can have them like a Brussels sprout. Or if they're nice and small, just roast them whole like that until they're softened. Dress them up exactly like how you would roast anything else in the oven, like cauliflower, broccoli, anything like that. And you'll be surprised how good they are. Remember one time we like had a bunch of radishes up in Nunavut for the camp? And we definitely weren't going to be able to use them all before they went like bad. So we just roasted them up one night on a Sunday for our Sunday roast. And like, at first people were like, what is that? We're like, it's roasted radish. And like almost every single person tried them. And we're like, yo, this is really good. So you'd be surprised. Like I said, it really mellows out like the spicy flavor of them. Okay, I think we're gonna start putting in all the yummy stuff. I'll start with the chicken and the corn, and then we'll add the stock, which probably will need all of it. I'm gonna switch to the spoon now for us. Whoa, don't fall off the board, chicken. It's splashing. Get rid of that. Hominy. You want all of this hominy, Sambo?
Yeah.
Okay. It's crazy how much like 1 cup of hominy cooks out to. I'm pretty sure that cooked out to like a liter. Not so.
You are correct, Bonk.
Just that together, guys. So good. And now, top it up with a bit of broth. Since it's supposed to be a stew, I won't make it super soupy. Super soupy. We'll just dilute it a bit like that and let everything come together now. Turn that baby up. We'll pop the lid back on. And now let's work on our cabbage. I might use the mandolin for the cabbage. What did I miss? You can dress them up, and when they're done roasting, you can take them out. That's what I missed. Mary, try it out. Let me know what you think of it. I think you would like it. Are you getting all the smells wafting over there? Or not too crazy today?
Oh, they're good.
I think we'll do this one too, guys. It's kind of dried up. Dried up and not crunchy. So I'm just going to cut off like a wedge of cabbage from this head to use on the mandolin. Something like that. Because it's always really deceiving when you cut cabbage up how much you end up with. First, I'm going to wrap it up, put it back in the fridge, and then we'll get it sliced or shaved. It doesn't work in a reply. Lame. Lame-o. Command. So now who's going to try and have pozole tonight? Bonk, you're probably someone that has access to that easily. Or no, you said you gotta drive far for Mexican food, right? Mandolin, cut glove. We got the thin blade. Good to go. Annie, you've never had pozole? Would you eat it though? If you had the chance. Okay, you don't have to drive far for Mexican food, but for Indian food you do. You do shredded cabbage, diced onion, lime, cilantro, radish. Oh yeah, and then hot sauce, the Cholula. Nom. You have way too many. Wish you could share with us. Okay. Cut gloves on. Thin blade. Angle it like this. I mean, I guess you could go lengthwise too and then just cut it in half so it's not too long to try and eat. Let's see. But, I don't know. If I go this way, it's just a little bit too wide right now. And I find it falls apart if you go this way rather than holding it up. Then we end up with nice little shaved cabbage pieces. And then just the heat from the broth in the soup will soften up these crunchy veggies. It's pretty awesome. Let's get a container for that. It's a good contrast of like crunchy and fresh. And then yummy cooked things. Is that gonna be too long to eat? I guess we'll see. The taqueria that I helped open here, we had, that's why you have a cut glove. We had pozole on the menu. Like often I would start work when it was dinner time. Sometimes I'd like take the pozole and like turn it into like a yummy rice sort of stew bowl. I don't know, I got creative with my staff meals when you're used to eating the same thing all the time. I just remember that. And we did a red one. We didn't do a green one. Trying to think, like, will that be too hard to eat? It might be. Just cut it in half like that. And we'll do the other ones too. Just pour it back out. There's some simmering happening on the stovetop. There. I'll turn this down a bit. Okay, so we'll finish chopping up these bits on this side. We won't waste any of the cabbage. Yeah, this is probably one of those things that you would want to eat from a restaurant first, so you could really tell how it should taste before you go home and attempt to make it yourself. Little bits. Don't skimp on the little bits. Actually, we didn't cut this yet. Bonk considers pozole a comfort food. What does Samo think of that? Samo says yes. 100% it is. It's very nourishing. Very, very nourishing tasting. Take it easy over there. The soup's going a bit crazy. Okay, we got our radishes. Let's put those back. We got our cabbage. Cilantro. Lime, we just have to wedge up a bit. And then our avocado. The end is near. We can see it now. Go over here for this stuff. For the lime, I'm gonna cut some small wedges. I'll probably just do half of this for us. And then what I usually do, take this end off. And then I will cut the wedges this way. So I'll just quarter the lime. This is something I've learned over the years. And then this way you hold these corners. And then when you squeeze it, it doesn't just like run down your hand. Cute little lime wedges. This we'll put over by the soup pot because that will go get squeezed in. Our avo. So happy to find this today. Every other avo in the store was like rock hard green dinosaur egg. That's true, yeah, Bonk. Before you order the pozole, you might have to ask what type they have. Right? All of them are good. But we preserve, or prefer, I was going to say preserve. We prefer the Verde. I like the Verde one with chicken. And I think the red one is really good with pork. Cut through the richness of it. All right, all of our garnishes are now set. Let's go over to taste the soup and finish it up. It's even going crazier. Turned it down once already. I did want all the flavors to meld pretty quickly, though. Nice. Okay, tasting spoon time. Still really nice and vibrant. It looks more vibrant on the camera, which I'm happy about. You've also had pork verde. I think we've also made pork verde too. Just to see, right? Okay, so not really any seasoning in there yet. I'm gonna start with some salt. One, two, like 3 big pinches of salt. Didn't taste like much. We'll go with our half lime juiced so that those flavors can play off of each other. Get all that goodness out. And we'll give it another stir. See how that changed the flavor. You got it, Mary. Sometimes we stumble upon those people. And like, not to say that the way that other people work is bad or wrong. You just definitely recognize as you watch more and more cooking programs that everyone does stuff differently. But yeah, I'm pretty serious about like not ever making people sick. Food safety, things like that. Let's see how this is. Her name is Kay. Whoa, okay, that's getting better. Okay, since we're still gonna garnish with more lime, I don't think I want to put more lime juice in. A little bit more salt. See if that changes it. If I'm not happy with this, I'll do another half lime juiced. And that will probably bring the flavor up the rest of the way. I feel you there, Bonk. Because, yeah, we watch some YouTubers that do some cooking on their programs. Sometimes we just have to look away. Like, I love the person. I just can't watch them cut for fear of them getting hurt. Okay, still getting a little bit of that sourness, so we definitely don't need any more lime. Touch more. Like, nothing in here was salted. Which is kind of weird. Like, we should have salted some of this stuff. I did put a bit of salt in with the hominy, but I definitely could have been more. That's it, though. That is the flavor we're looking for. The spice has also mellowed out a lot since we've added the chicken and the corn. Let's get that turned off. We're coming over. It's true, Bong. Yeah, their life would be easier if they just hold the knife correctly. A lot of people are just scared of knives in general. Like, even my friend, that, like, her family cooks a lot. When I went over there to, like, cook with her, we made dinner together. She was using, like, her dullest paring knife ever to try and chop stuff, when she had a full knife block of Japanese knives that she doesn't use because she's scared of them. So the thing is if people aren't shown, the fear just overcomes you. What's our bowl situation here? This. And maybe I'll do the white one. We'll have some contrasting colors. Samo. The brittle we'll have to taste after still. It's true, Greek. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that having a sharp knife is actually so much safer than having a dull knife. And that's actually what I said to her. I was like, think about all the pressure that you're putting on that dull knife. Well, if that slips off of this thing that you're cutting, that pressure is going into you. Like, I know it sounds scary, but that's just the truth of it. Do we need to get the soup in here? I guess. Let's get it up on this corner. We need a ladle. There she is in all of her glory, chat. That one's for Samu, but also for you. Big ladle. We're done with the fan now. Completed. That wasn't that long of a stream, considering the 3 things that we made. That one will live back there. Sure. Let's just move that and do that. I've been offline, Scoots. What you see here, this is just fake.
I understand that.
It's just a figment of your imagination. How good does this look, guys? Totally offline. You think I'm live right now? Think again. Two scoops of goodness per bowl. Samo gets 3 actually, or like 2.5. That looked a bit empty. Okay, usually I'll put the cabbage directly on this, the heat, so it can soften up a bit. Don't be afraid to like put a bunch. They go all out on the garnishes. Nestle it in there. Next one, we'll do the radishes. So now you can see they crisped up in the water. Yeah, the cabbage will shrink to nothing, right? Just throw those around all over. You got a piece off. It turned out. I was worried. I was like seconds away from it being too dark. Guys, Samo's in the brittle.
That's good.
Aloha Brittle.
What? She said I can go into it.
What did you guys do in the mod chat? She said I could. Scoop our avo. You want 1/2 of avo?
Yep.
Ah! What the heck? Is radish...
Aloha, you.
That's right, Punk. Been saying it all stream. Cruising for a bruising. And yeah, Annie, I would say, like, this is actually a typical garnish for pozole, is the crunchy radish. Interesting, right? You get the cilantro here, and then you're good. He got banned from 2 streams today. Poor kid. Times are tough over there. Okay, the last thing, guys, is the lime. Put it where someone can see it. I'm just gonna take a photo. He's slurping. He's stewing. Excuse me. I already got burpees. Let's switch sides. Sam didn't squeeze his lime. I don't know why. He says it's good. He says it's good. Runa Raven 1. Thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Misha's like, wait, what? Careful inhaling. There's sometimes spice. Can you hear the inhaling? Can you guys hear that in the background? His nose is running even. Okay. Get it all swooshed around a bit. I'm going for a bite. We got chicken, cabbage, hominy, radish, some cilantro. That's a big bite. That's what you needed? It's like such an interesting dish. Because like the broth and everything is hot. But then all the things we put on top is cold. So it's not like rocking hot when you eat it. It's like perfect eating temperature. Mmm. I like how the lime is like on the forefront. And then it goes herby with the cilantro. Then a little bit spicy on your tongue. Haven't had any avo yet. And then obviously like the crunchy cabbage and radish. I actually need a message to Reno. I talked to him a bit ago. And he was actually in and out of the hospital dealing with some stuff. But he said he was okay. But like he's not been around lately. And I don't like when that happens, Mish. Look at this bite, guys. Mmm. The avo is so good. I almost choked. It was spicy. It takes your breath away.
I'm crying. It's so good. It's emotional.
Less descriptions today. You got it. Whoa! Slid at the camera. Whoa-ly. That's what Samo said was really good. Hi, Lamarzen. Hi, Bob. It's our Bobberino. We gotta take a photo of this still. Wait, we're peppering people's nuts? What are you doing?
You gonna do a slow-mo video?
Are you gonna drop it?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, Sam's gonna drop the brittle. This is the fun part. You went through all of the hard work to get it on the tray proper and cooled. And now you'll be able to see why I have such a big parchment paper underneath, because you just lift up the paper and then drop it from like a foot or so up.
I'm just gonna lift up the thing.
You're just gonna drop the whole pan?
No, just.
He's just gonna lift the brittle and then drop it. Okay, that's the report. Slow-mo, I'm gonna go on this side. It didn't really.
No.
He says no. Now he's gonna be the cleanup crew of the sugar all over. This is how easy it is to break apart though, guys, because of the baking soda in there. So then you just do this. That's the bottom with all the coconut.
Super tasty though.
I think it's cool if you leave it in big pieces like this, because then people can just break it up into whatever size they want. Bob. I'm not 75, you little creep. That always reminds me of Home Alone when you say that. Or like Dennis the Menace or something. Okay. Why don't I'll do this one. Hopefully we got like a couple different nuts in this piece. It looks like there's like pecan, macadamia, and then the coconut. Look at all the air holes. That's why I'm not destroying my teeth right now. Ooh, the coconut. Whoa. I got like macadamia and pecan flavor first. And then that went away. And it was just like straight up coconut. Like toasted coconut. Mmm. Put lime on top of it. I've never had sweet and sour brittle. Whoa. I think a bit of salt with the nuts would have been good too. You guys are making me laugh in chat right now. I'm trying to not be distracted. And yes, if you're wondering if brittle is sweet, yes it is. That's why I'm not eating more than that, because I haven't even finished my soup yet. It's past your bedtime. I know, Mary. Kate, you put the lime in the coconut and then you shake it all up. Don't tempt me with a good time. I still got coconut in my jowls that I'm chewing on. It's like storage for later. Right? I think sea salt. Quick sprinkle on top. Whoa. So good. Okay, I'm trying to go onto Twitch to see who we're gonna go raid. But the page is not opening. Again. The monster bag, it's kind of funny, Bob. Because, like, I was doing all this baking today, so I needed, or I thought I needed a bunch of flour. So this is a new bag of all-purpose flour. Holy shit, Twitch finally opened up. That I need to distribute in a bunch of bins and put away. Ooh, pecan pie. That could be fun to go to, Annie. We do love a Chef Steve raid. We did Floating Cozy yesterday. Now let's go to the food truck. That sounds good. Pasta cones and pecan pie cookies. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I know, Steve is for Sunday. So what else do we have, Mish? Talk to me. Oh my gosh, what the heck? This guy just opened up food and drink. Thought we would raid somebody there. He's got like just an apron on, that's it. We're gonna keep scrolling. We don't know, honestly. And by we, I mean me. This might be fun. Chef Chelsea. Making fluffy flapjacks? You want to see Apron Guy? We can't. Chef Chelsea. Oh, I didn't put raid in front. My bad. I thought I did. Is it not that? Oh, it wasn't at all. Chelsea J. That was not even close. Fluffy flapjacks. I'm into that. We've made those a few times here. Whiskey Monster? I didn't even see her. Oh well. I'm not gonna get too up and up about it. Guys, thanks for being here. The sun's going down already. I hope that we had a fun time together today. I'm definitely happy with how everything turned out. I was actually worried about the brittle, but it's yummy. And yeah, those banana bars, banana cookie bars, that's like yummy peanut butter version of banana bread. If you guys like all those flavors, I would say that's probably a make again because they're not super sweet. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. I will be building some Lego on stream, and Sam will be cooking lunch on the backside, so I think that will be very fun. So I hope to see you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, as always. If not, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and thanks for hanging out. Bob only enjoyed the last half hour. I mean, it's better than nothing, Bob. Thanks, everyone, for all your contributions today, all your gifted subs, new follows, biddies, all of the things. Love y'all, be safe, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!
Bye!